Hey, it's Jenny Elliskew on Sirius XMU Sessions. Excited this week to be joined by representatives of the Beths. It's Liz and Jonathan in our LA studio, and they're here playing us music from their album Straight Line Was a Lie. Congrats on it. It's such a fucking great album. I love it.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. And I took it on a walk around the Silver Lake Reservoir over here, and I went on an emotional journey. Of 6,000 steps and 6,000 feelings.
It's 6,000 steps around that reservoir? Wow.
It's something like that from my door to walk there. But yeah, it's about that.
It's a big reservoir. It's a big job for an album.
So exactly. No, it was a great reservoir walk. And I mean, I guess since I mentioned that, I'll start with asking about the fact that some of this album was inspired here in LA. Is that correct?
Some of it was written here in LA.
Yeah. There was a juncture where you came here to see what emerged.
Yeah, there's kind of a big, long, protracted writing period where I did a lot of like just writing on just writing 10 pages a day of like prose, and by the time we came to LA, which was after a bout of touring that finished in LA, which ended with Coachella, so Jonathan and I decided to stick around, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to write the next album properly, and by the time I leave here, I will have 50 demos. And by the time we left, I had 24 demos. So still not bad, but
yeah, still pretty fucking great. And so had you ever done that before? And this is the fourth Beth's album. Had you done that before where you sort of decamped to somewhere far away to find inspiration?
No, like normally I'd do something similar, but it would be at home. I like being at home for the reasons why it would be distracting to do it at home, like having family and friends and other commitments and things, which are good things. But I guess it was nice to experience the like, I guess it's why people do retreats, right? But instead of going into the bush, we decided to go into one of the largest metropolises in the Western world. And yeah, it was just nice to be fully focused on something and in a place where like everybody's kind of like making something in an interesting way.
We're going to delve further into the process of making this album, but I want to get into some of the music before the deeper dive. And we're going to start with hearing an exclusive rendition of Metal, a song we've been playing a lot of here on Sirius XMU. Tell us a bit about the inspiration for and genesis of that one.
Yeah, so I guess over the last few years, I've been on like a health journey, just mental health and physical health. I got diagnosed with Graves' disease, so yeah, my anxiety really spiked with that, and been kind of dealing with that and trying to normalize both my thyroid levels and emotions. And I felt like I was driving my body around like a vehicle, and it was this thing that I kind of didn't really have much control over. But at the same time, I was learning a lot about it. I was learning a lot about my body. I was learning a lot about, I don't know, I was learning a lot of like science stuff just because I'm interested in it. And I was kind of absorbing both these things. And so it's kind of a song that is about vacillating between these two views of my own body, I guess.
And what was the first sort of musical bit of it that emerged?
It was the line, "So you need the middle in your blood," and actually before that was the little guitar riff, the main kind of strumming guitar riff, and that line like kind of it came out of the top, and I didn't know why, and I kind of had to investigate, and I did a bit of writing on that line. It was like, what is this song about? Why did this line come out?
All right, well, let's listen to the Beths performing Metal on Sirius XMU Sessions.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Magnetic core
short word. I see a short word.
From the Beths, and here's what it sounded like when we performed on Sirius XMU Sessions.
Hey, we're here with the Beths with Liz and Jonathan on Sirius XMU Sessions. I'm Jenny LSQ. We just heard a couple of performances. The one just then was Straight Line Was a Lie, the title track. And, you know, I read about the album and I read about some of what went on in the lead up to it. As you were saying earlier, you went on this health journey, both physical and mental health journey in the lead up to this time of making the album. And so I understand that some of that was when you were dealing with the anxiety was like trying some new medication to stabilize that, and that had some unintended consequences that impacted your writing process from there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I guess along with the health stuff, I think they often go hand in hand, right? When with physical health is suffering, mental health often suffers as well. Yeah, I've always had kind of anxiety, but it was really bad, and it was spiraling into depression. And I was talking to a therapist and started an SSRI, and I found it so helpful. And just like it's hard to explain the kind of the experience of you live in your own brain your whole life, and then you suddenly it's just quiet in a way that it kind of hadn't been before. Like the kind of horrible voices that are kind of normally there were a little bit quieter, and so yeah, and it was really great for a long time, and I was able to kind of build some routines and all of the things that you're meant to do that that help you to feel better generally. And then by the time I was ready to wean off, I was starting to feel the effect people often feel as well, which is a kind of a numbness and a levelness that was a little bit divorced from my contrastingly emotional personality.
Yeah, well, also just feeling that different as a artist and creator, like from how you had gotten used to feeling while being inspired, just any drastic difference in how you feel would, I would imagine, throw you for a loop where you're just like, wait, it doesn't feel like it used to feel doing this thing that I've done for so long now. And so how do I even do it now? And I know that you tried some interesting things. And one of the things I'm really intrigued about, you referenced this earlier, you referenced writing 10 pages a day, but I understand that was actually on a kind of a vintage typewriter, Remington typewriter that the Benjamin gave you, right?
Yeah, he gave me a typewriter like in 2020, and I was like, I'm never going to use this. And then I ended up using it for this. It was the perfect task. It's so, I don't know, tactile. It feels and just sounds great. Like you get a great rhythm out of it. And yeah, like earlier that year I read, I mean, everybody who does writing, writes about writing, often talks about some version of doing your pages or something, right? Getting your pages in. But I just happened to have read Stephen King's book about writing, which is called On Writing, where he talked about doing 10 pages a day. And he just does that every day. And I was like, he sure writes a lot of books.
Well, yeah, totally. And and sorry to interrupt, but I'm just the typewriter thing. I really connect with that because last year I went and got a typewriter for an endeavor of corresponding with someone who doesn't do computer stuff and who I knew would appreciate. I was just like, I want to type, but I want them to know that it's not from a computer. So I went to this place here in LA called the Typewriter Connection. It's this awesome dude who has like a showroom in downtown and like the Arts District who like collects and restores these beautiful typewriters. So that whole experience was fucking awesome. And then I went there and I got this typewriter to write to this person and realized like, yeah, it's an awesome experience. It's the opposite of a laptop keyboard. You have to like apply some pressure and you're going to fuck up and you can't really fix it. And like, I just wonder, if that, in the kind of practice you're talking about, the fact that you just are stuck with whatever you typed onto the page, I would imagine was helpful.
Yeah, I think that's appeals to a lot of writers, right? The fact that you can't edit, the urge to edit is very strong, and you just have to kind of let the ideas come out, and like future you can deal with finding the good stuff amongst all of the dross.
10 pages a day for what you do that for about a month or so. So that's a lot of pages. How much of what was in there ended up being adapted for songs on the album?
Like on a percentage base, very little, because I guess the whole thing is that there's you pull a lot of stuff out of your brain, and a lot of it's bad. It's not bad; it's just it's not usable or anything. But I would go through, and if I wasn't playing guitar or working on something from like a voice memos on my phone, I would be able to just kind of leaf through this big pile of like fodder from my own brain, and I would just take a highlighter and highlight anything that looked remotely interesting or as an idea or as a phrase, and then sometimes I would then use that in a song, or I would take it and I would write more on it. I would kind of like extrapolate on an idea a little bit more. Yeah, so it was used in between everything, and a lot of ideas came from it. Yeah.
And then the LA phase, is that when actually starting to flesh out the songs and actually record stuff happened?
That was me making demos and doing extrapolating out the Stephen King thing more, and I would finish a demo and I would put it away for 6 weeks, which is what he does with books. So that he does, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months or something. I don't know. But I think I really liked the idea that when you first write something, you don't really know what it is. It comes out of you. And then when you have a bit of distance and maybe you've even forgotten about it a little bit, you can look at it and see what it's trying to do, and you can make it do that more, or you can fully understand it or something.
Let's listen to some more of this performance. We're going to hear another couple of songs, starting with Mosquitoes.
There's a creek I would walk to, and my house felt like a locked room. Lean on little wooden bridges, watch the eels playing cool. I could walk a little further down the dirt path on the shoulder to the biggest waterfall my city limits could produce. Boy, it fell, kept on falling, biting down, carving rock, slow erosion. Lay me here on the stone, I'm only here to feed mosquitoes. Only skin, only blood, a little less now than there was. In January 23, the creek became a raging sea of great torrential flood that ripped the bridges from the banks. The soft slope of the valley ravaged, cracked and wounded, badly fallen giants breathing heavily across the severed track. They fell, stayed falling, roots exposed, reaching high, something's growing. Lay me here by the bones, I'm only here to feed mosquitoes. Only skin, only blood, a little less now than there was. A little less now than there was. I still go. It's been a year now, past the chain link fence that keeps out, with the bridges all still blown out. You can't amble anymore. Overgrown, abandoned, I take off my shoes to cross and find the current has forgotten how it felt to break the world. And if I fall, I'll fall in, soaking wet, ruined pride, too laughing. Leave me here, let me go. I'm only here to feed mosquitoes. Only skin, only blood, a little less now than there was. Just leave me here on my own. I only breathe to feed the ego. Only flesh, only blood, I'm letting go of what I'm not. A little less now than there was. A little less now than there was. I don't seek what you seek, but I never take it away. Mother, pray for me. Mother, will you talk to me? I don't know the tongue in which you dream. Somewhere in the middle is a pigeon that we speak. But is it enough? Don't give up. Mother, pray for me. Mother, are you near to me? We never let our colors bleed, but I would like to know you, and I want you to know me. Do we still have time? Can we try? Mother, pray for me. Mother, are you all at sea? Battered by the waves of grief. Are you lost without her? Do you hope that we could meet? If I could be saved one day, Mother, pray for me. Mother, don't cry for me. I have done enough injury. I wanted to hurt you for the hurt you made in me, and I know that I'm why you cried. Mother, pray for me. Called off the search for evidence of an after. Decided I'm fine without. Forever is this right now, but one day if you arrive, just send me a small sign. I don't need the proof of place. Just tell me you got this safe. Mother, are you there? It's me. I know I didn't call last week. The longer that I hold off, the heavier it seems. And I never know what to say anyway. Mother, pray for me.
All right, it's Jenny Elliskew and Liz and Jonathan from the Beths on Sirius XMU Sessions. And we just heard a rendition of the song Mother Pray for Me from the new album Straight Line Was a Lie, which on my aforementioned Reservoir Walk with the album, that was a glad I'm wearing sunglasses moment for all the passersby. Whether it's with that song in particular or with the album in general, I'd love to hear a bit. And also, Jonathan, if you want to weigh in on this, just in terms of the actual recording of the album and going into it, if there were sort of sonic elements or in terms of the recording approach that were something newer for this album than the others, or that just felt like an important element of the actual goals in the recording studio?
Yeah, definitely. I think Liz's demos this time round were made in a different way. Liz usually makes demos just with her electric guitar and singing, and quite often what we'll get is an electric guitar part and a song, which is beautiful, and then reasonably open scope for musical arrangement, except quite often a really beautiful, fully fleshed out backing vocal arrangement that we have to rise to the challenge of. But this time around, Liz really kind of prepared slightly more in-depth demos and had learnt to use some computer software to make some demos with, and that let her add some drums and add some background instruments to the demos. And we've come to realize that really influenced what kind of songs came through, in that all of a sudden the impetus to provide the rhythmic drive wasn't all just from the guitar, and it wasn't always that you need to kind of downstroke all of the eighth notes and fill that space, perhaps like the Buzzcocks might. Instead, Liz was able to kind of bring the tempo back 10 BPM and leave a bit of space, knowing what was going to fill that gap approximately, knowing that approximately drums and bass were going to fill that gap. And it's actually beautiful just listening to drums, bass and voice, and there isn't that kind of stress to fill that space. So yeah, that was new, and also was challenging to be that band, to be a different band and come into those demos and find our space, find ourselves, find what worked, and hopefully, obviously miss the mark and fail and deconstruct and disappoint Liz's vision, but then hopefully rebuild it and build it up into something better and into the thing it is.
And since you mentioned the Buzzcocks, and we are going to hear your cover of Ever Fallen in Love to close out this session, let's talk a bit about that, about your sort of history as fans of the Buzzcocks. And, I got to just pause to say also, every time I talk about a band's name, I mean, I know you guys are the Beths, but I always get self-conscious where I'm just like, what if it's just Buzzcocks? What if there's no the? Because I hate fucking that up so much. But I'm going with the Buzzcocks. I'm
ashamed I cannot categorically answer that.
I think that if you name your name a plural thing, you don't get to choose.
You don't choose.
I know. But, I agree on the one hand. On the other hand, I'm all about I'm just I fuck with the idea of just no, fine Pixies or yeahs or whatever. Let me just get it right. Whatever you chose, I want to get it right,
Yeah.
But anyway, did you get into the Buzzcocks or Buzzcocks a while ago, or is it sort of a more recent deep dive?
For me, Buzzcocks were we studied academically, we studied music, and the Beths is sort of a little bit of a knee jerk, let's do something that's not the nerdy music that we studied. So yeah, for me, I would listen to the Buzzcocks coming home on the bus most days from university. I would be at university playing piano, and then I get on the bus and get a book out and listen to the Buzzcocks.
Oh, that's nice. My Buzzcocks was I was working at the library when I was just finished uni, and you could get CDs from the library, and you could, if you worked there, you could get them for free, but you did have to give them back. So I got singles going steady, and I just honed it nonstop for 2 weeks, and then I gave it back, and I really loved it, and I love the clarity and succinctness of the kind of pop songwriting. There's no waste, it's it's very lean, it's very fast, and it's super fun. It's something that we thought about a lot, especially when on our first album, I think.
Yeah, I feel Singles Going Steady in particular, it's one of those things you can just listen to it 1 million times, you could, it's one of those songs, it's a never get sick of it kind of thing. Even Why Can't I Touch It, which, is a little bit different from the formula, but just put it on a loop for me, and I could probably go days before I would be somebody change the song.
It gets work done as well, you said that our album got you around 6,000 steps of the reservoir. That's beautiful, but Singles Going Steady gets work done, whatever it is.
Yeah. You start cleaning your house, bam, it's clean.
Bam, it's clean. You need to chip some wood, bam, the Buzzcocks have got you.
Yeah, and also just if you think about the difference between Orgasm Addict and Ever Fallen in Love with Someone in terms of the emotional range.
Yeah.
It's just they do their Buzzcocks thing on Ever Fallen in Love, but you're just this song is fucking devastating, actually.
Yeah.
And Man, what a tune. So can't wait to share it with the folks, this rendition y'all are playing for us. And the Beths are on the road extensively around the world for Straight Line Was a Lie. There's a big North American tour this fall. So go to thebeths.com and get yourself tickets if there are any left near you. And thank you so much, Liz and Jonathan, for hanging out.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Natural emotions, you make me feel like dirt, and I'm hurt. But if I start a commotion, I run the risk of losing you, and that's worse. Never fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. I don't see much of the future unless we find out what's to blame or shame. And we won't be together much longer unless we realize that we are the same. Ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. Disturb my natural emotions, you make me feel like dirt, and I'm hurt. But if I start a commotion, I'll only end up losing you, and that's worse. Ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. Ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. Someone ever fallen in love with someone, ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. Or fallen in love with. Ever fallen in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with.
Sirius XMU Sessions. Stripped down performance.